Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up for you. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back. Yeah, y'all know where it's from. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com. $2.41 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency right now. The market is up 3.8%, and we welcome it. 62,500 plus for Bitcoin. You can see it's up 9.5 on the 7-day, 4.1 of that in the 24. Ethereum, 3,300 now, and 4.3 of the 10.2 is what they're doing right now. Tether is 112 billion plus market cap. USDC, 34 billion plus. You see money's coming back into the space here. XRP, 53 cents. And although we're 1.4 on the 24, we're up 23.2% on the 7-day. Come on in, XRP. Ranging between 52 and 54 cents. We're going to keep an eye on it, and we'll talk about it before we get out of here. But I want to tell you about this right now. It's linked to, ladies and gentlemen, where you can get the best private equity in the world. Over 1 million users. You know how they say it. 1 million users can't be wrong. Yeah, just like 50 million Elvis fans. Can't be wrong. 436 million total investment on the platform, over 81 companies. And you know, if you don't know, Cerebras, we're talking about Ripple, we're talking about Uphold, we're talking about Liquid Death, Patreon, Stripe. They've got it. Listen, all you have to do is click the link underneath the video and go check out the most incredible opportunity for private equity on the planet. It's linkto.com. Let's start right here. The real problem, and every world leader knows it. The question is, what will the USA do about it to preserve the US dollar role on the global stage? As we know, out of the last 5 global reserve currencies, 2 of which, Netherlands and Portugal, had an 80-year lifespan. Stay with me here. I know you know this, some of you. US dollar is currently in its 80th year, right? So let's hold on to that, because now we're going to hear from Janet Yellen. Look at the look on her face. Janet Yellen quietly admits serious US dollar collapse fears as Trump primes Bitcoin for a $4 trillion price surge. If there's any one person on the planet who does not have the right to be shocked about the situation that the US dollar is in, it's this lady right here. And yet, that's the look she's constantly got on her face all the time. She's just every day. She doesn't know. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah. Is FSOC working, doing the work? No. Oh, okay. It's not doing anything. Are you doing anything? Right? Is anyone doing anything? Oh, boy. So here you have it. As a spiraling $34 trillion debt pile fuels fears of a collapse, with Bitcoin and crypto slowly chipping away at the dollar dominance, well, we know what needs to happen. Now, I'm going to play some other stuff for you here that obviously brings us back to this conversation. That's what's so troubling about it. And you can feel the collapse coming. Not to mention the fact the Dems are getting beat on every side of the field when it comes to the election cycle. What's next? Pooping on the desk before you leave? Yeah, let's crash the economy and let's see if he can fix it. Isn't that what we're looking at here? Sore losers? I think they went to some great lengths over the weekend with that sore losing. My personal opinion. Then there was this, just last week.
So eliminating the Federal Reserve is best for promoting economic stability.
Yes.
Hear that?
So eliminating the Federal Reserve is best for promoting economic stability.
Yes.
Thank you.
There you have it, right? The talk is in Capitol Hill. What are we going to need if we eliminate the Fed? Because I'm wondering now, is the real USD, the digital dollar that Ripple's going to launch, is it a Federal Reserve note backed dollar, or is it going to be a U.S. Treasury note? I'm just curious. You got this talk about eliminating the Fed. Janet Yellen, who's shocked about the $34 trillion worth of debt that she apparently just found out about.
Ripple, we have a 10-plus year legacy of being a very trusted, compliant, secure player in the enterprise space. So I think we're a great candidate to bring a trusted U.S. dollar stable to the market.
A lot of people wanted me to ask this question. When are you planning to launch it?
We're working on it right now, and you can expect to see more from us later this year.
So is it likely going to launch this year then?
Likely.
There you have it. So we're looking at inside of 6 months here of seeing a Ripple Real US Digital Dollar launched on the XRP Ledger and the Ethereum network. Where will it sit in the top 10? How long will it take to get in the top 10? And will it be pegged to Fed notes, or is this going to be something new? Remember, Rosie Rios from the Treasury, the 43rd Treasurer of the United States of America, sits on the board of Ripple, and one of the last things she did while being the 43rd Treasurer was design a new $100 bill. I don't know what's going on. I'm speculating wildly. But then there's this from Joseph Hagan. He says, XRP to the rescue. Could central banks adopt XRP to stabilize the global financial system? That's the plan. That's the plan. That's why we know that pre-allocation of option contracts is something that is a part of the plan. Because whatever you're talking about, it can't be money unless everyone in the world agrees that it's money. Otherwise, you're stuck with a fiat problem. Digital or paper or otherwise, right? This is getting interesting. Eliminate the Fed. David Andolfado here, formerly from the St. Louis Fed. Just take a listen.
We could, if we wanted to, extend the concept one step further. I'm not saying that this is ever going to happen, but just conceptually, you could imagine not Fedwire for all, but kind of like a Fed coin, where what the Fed would do is actually just issue these, Bitcoin-like objects, but and they would enforce a par exchange rate with the U.S. dollar. That would eliminate the exchange rate volatility. But they could delegate the clearing of these payments to some third party, some sort of Ripple-like protocol or possibly.
There you have it. And he talked about pegging it. But the U.S. Senate just last week suggests exploring blockchain to enhance national security and supply trade. And David Schwartz himself told us we need to top down, just like the early days of the internet. The internet was adopted by the governments and military first. Then it became a consumer product later. This has happened backwards. Crypto has happened from the grassroots. It was a consumer product user first, libertarian movement, now moving into the point where we need to see adoption by governments and military and the like, so we can have legal clarity and legislation that paves the way for innovation and the financial institutions. We all know the drill, right? But just last week, the U.S. Senate suggested this. We're close. I want to remind you of this.
Player and
Lauren Believe, Ripple's head of U.S. public policy. Listen to just how many people we're working with here.
We're looking to have this pegged to both the XRP Ledger and the Ethereum networks.
And tell us more about where that syncs up with the government, and where there are kind of partnership opportunities for you all with government on moving stable coins forward.
Yeah. Well, currently we are working very closely with the New York DFS, and that's a focus for us. And we are complying with all current law, mostly through the state level. But what's very exciting is, as we speak, the Congress is negotiating a stablecoin bill between Chairman McHenry and Ranking Member Waters. I know the Senate is involved, the Treasury is involved, the New York Fed is involved, as is the state. And so that's something that could really set a great pathway, hopefully for both state pathways to have jurisdiction over this, as well as having a federal oversight. And then we would be able to have the regulatory clarity, not only to operate in the country, but also to identify really good U.S. banking partners and have that business relationship and the security around that business relationship that we want to pursue.
Now, not throwing shade on anybody who has a highly regulated stablecoin, because they're out here, and we know, shout out to Circle, USDC. But what I can say is something feels very different about the onset of this stable coin from Ripple. I mean, you hear about the level of departments and agencies they're working on this thing with, but Circle launched their stuff before having a lot of these things with a bow on it. Why is Ripple waiting, right? Because it may be a little more, I don't know. There may be something else there. But I'll tell you what, in order for something else to be there, Representative Lynch has got it right here.
If we have, so let's just sort of think about this. You've got a bunch of different tokenization systems. If we have, so let's just sort of think about this. You've got a bunch of different tokenization systems, and you want, ideally, you do want different countries, you want global commerce. Wouldn't you need a central bank, sort of a one central, not necessarily reserve, well, sort of like a reserve currency where everybody could exchange their tokenized assets and trade them?
Yes, that's called the XRP ledger. Absolutely, Mr. Lynch. Spot on. Not financial advice from me or anyone else, but let me tell you something. We're going into the Freedom Zone today, and we're going to talk about all that mess that went on this weekend at that rally. And boy, have we got something for you to see, and you're not going to want to miss it. Inside Job is what we're going to talk about here, and it's going to get revealed right now. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Go to digitalperspectives.com, click the Freedom Zone, and come on in. All right, welcome back.